The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's Switch 2 edition is finally here, and Hyrule is in some serious need of Bokoblin slaying action, because with the new features like Zelda Notes compatibility, Autobuild sharing, voice memories, updated performance and framerate, and more, there's never been a better time to save the kingdom. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is regarded as one of the best games of all time for a reason. So don't rush, and savor everything the game has to offer. Presented by NHTSA, speeding catches up with you. Continue watching at your own risk, as we're about to dive into some of the game's endgame puzzles and later story details. To start off, let's go over some general gameplay tips that'll be helpful for first-time players picking up the game. With a world as expansive as Hyrule, it's easy to get overwhelmed, especially with the skies above and the depths below. That's why it's a great idea to plan a route for your adventure. You could follow the main mission quest markers to different objectives, or fill out the map in each area of the world by heading to the Skyview Towers early on. Whatever route you plan for yourself though, don't feel forced to stick to it. Exploration is one of the things that makes this game so special, so make sure your planned route is open to stopping along the way if you find something of interest. But there's one thing you should definitely do upon the game opening up to you after completing the Great Sky Island. Follow the main quest to Lookout Landing before doing anything else. This way, you'll not only get the main quests around the world, but also the Paraglider, which is practically essential in your travels. If you're exploring the depths, make sure to carry lots of Bright Bloom seeds, which are found in caves across Hyrule, and either throw them, or fuse them to arrows to light the surrounding area. This helps light the way in this dark locale, and even serves as a way to mark your path so you don't get lost. While exploring the depths, make sure to collect any Poes that you see. These are used as currency with bargainer statues. As you explore across Hyrule, if you find a shrine, make sure to activate it. Even if you don't intend on completing its trial right away, it still serves as a fast travel point to come back to later. The same goes for the depths. Make sure to light up nearby light routes as they serve as fast travel points, in addition to lighting up the surrounding area. Plus, shrines and light routes are directly related. If you find a light route in the depths, there's a shrine in that exact location on the surface as well. And vice versa, of course. As you explore villages and stables, keep an eye out for characters with red exclamation points near their dialogue bubbles. This indicator means they have a side quest for you to do, or maybe even a side adventure, so you'll definitely want to talk to them and add them to your quest tracker. Early on in your adventure, as you follow the main quests, you'll be presented with the main questline Regional Phenomena. You can do them in any order you please, but the intended order is the Rito in the Hebra region, the Goron in the Elden region, the Zora in the Lynel region, and the Gerudo down in the Gerudo Desert. One thing I would highly recommend doing fairly early in the game is upgrading your Purah pad to get the Compendium, and eventually, the Enhanced Tracker. This upgrade is a lifesaver if you're ever looking for more than just shrines as you explore Hyrule. Unfortunately, it's not a short process to unlock. You can start working towards it by starting Josh's quest in Lookout Landing after obtaining the Paraglider. This begins an exploration of the depths with Robbie. Once you find him, he'll unlock the camera and compendium for your Purah pad. Then, after completing at least one of the main quests in the Regional Phenomena questline, you'll get a new quest from Joshua, A Mystery in the Depths, to get Autobuild. After this quest, you'll then get Robbie's side adventure, Hateno Village Research Lab, to unlock the Shrine Sensor, so the Purah pad can track nearby shrines. From there, Robbie will give you more options for upgrades in the Hateno Village Research Lab. All of these are worth doing, but the one you're looking for is the side adventure Sensor Plus. This one is pretty simple. Just add 5 different types of monsters to the compendium by taking pictures of them. You'll then get the Sensor Plus, where you could target anything in your compendium with the Purah pad sensor. As you complete shrines and get Lights of Blessing on your adventure to upgrade Link stats, I suggest focusing on upgrading stamina over health. You can make meals to add extra health, which may feel more useful in the long run than temporary extra stamina, but of course, be careful when dealing with a Gloom in the depths. If you ever need to change your upgrades, you can visit this statue under Lookout Landing to exchange heart containers and stamina vessels for a small fee. But I highly recommend the stamina focus, as that's what you'll need in order to retrieve the Master Sword. Next, let's talk about cooking and food, going over some of the best meals that you can make, and where to find their ingredients. There are 15 types of buffs that you can get from food. Hardy to give temporary extra hearts, Enduring to give temporary bonus stamina, Energizing to restore your stamina, Chilly to boost heat resistance, Fireproof to increase fire resistance, Spicy to boost cold resistance, Electro to boost electricity resistance, Hasty to boost movement speed, Sneaky to boost stealth, Mighty to boost attack power, Tough to boost defense, Sticky to boost resistance to slippery surfaces when climbing, Sunny to restore hearts broken by gloom, Warding to increase resistance to gloom, and Bright to cause a glow effect. Here are some examples of great recipes in each category that give you some of the best you can get out of them. For the best hearty recipes, cook 1 big hearty radish and 4 hearty radishes to get a hearty fried wild greens, which fully restores HP and adds 17 bonus hearts. You can find hearty radishes in the South Hyrule Sky Archipelago, near the Genodock Shrine. And you can find a big hearty radish in the North Necluda Sky Archipelago, near the Josiu Shrine. You can also cook 4 hearty lizards and a monster part to get a hearty elixir, fully restoring HP and adding 16 bonus hearts. You can find hearty lizards in the Gerudo Highlands, including inside the Mount Noboru Well, or you could purchase them from Beetle for 100 rupees at several different stables. For the best enduring recipe, cook 4 tireless frogs and a monster part to get an enduring elixir, which heals 16 hearts and grants a full bonus stamina wheel, plus a little extra. You could buy tireless frogs from Beetle for 100 rupees at several different stables, or find them in caves and rivers around Hyrule Field. For the best energizing recipe, cook 5 Staminoka Bass to get an energizing fish skewer that will completely restore 3 full stamina wheels. You can find a few Staminoka Bass around Riverside Stable. For the best chili recipes, cook 5 chill shrooms to get a chili mushroom skewer, which has level 2 heat resistance for 12.5 minutes. Chill shrooms can be found in the Gerudo Highlands, especially in the Rizoka Snowfield near Ultutsum Shrine. Or, cook 3 cold darners, purchased from Beetle at the Woodland Stable, and 2 white choo-choo jelly, to get a chili elixir with high-level heat resistance for just over 11 minutes. For the best fireproof recipe, cook 4 fireproof lizards, sold by Beetle at the Woodland Stable, and a monster part to get a fireproof elixir, which gives Flame Guard for just over 11 minutes. For the best spicy recipe, cook 5 sunshrooms to get a spicy mushroom skewer, which has level 2 cold resistance for 12.5 minutes. Sunshrooms are found around Death Mountain, and a lot can be found in the open area around Unoboko HQ. Or, you can cook 3 warm darners, purchase from Beetle at the Snowfield Stable, and 2 red choo-choo jelly, to get a spicy elixir with high-level cold resistance for just over 11 minutes. For the best Electro recipe, cook 4 Thunderwing butterflies, which can be purchased from Beetle at various stables, and a monster part to get an Electro elixir, which grants level 2 shock resistance for just over 11 minutes. Or, cook 2 Thunderwing butterflies and 2 electric darners, which can be purchased from Beetle at the Riverside Stable, and an electric monster part, such as yellow choo-choo jelly, to get an Electro elixir with level 3 shock resistance for just under 12 minutes. For the best hasty recipe, cook 4 hot-footed frogs and a monster part to get a hasty elixir, which grants a level 3 boost to your movement speed for just over 5 minutes. Hot-footed frogs are found in caves and rivers all around Hyrule, and can be purchased from Beetle at the Dueling Peak Stable. For the best sneaky recipe, cook 5 silent shrooms, which are commonly found around Shadow Pass in the Akala region, to make a sneaky mushroom skewer, which grants a level 3 stealth boost for 10 minutes. For the best mighty recipe, cook 4 razor shrooms and 1 mighty thistle to get mighty steamed mushrooms, with level 3 attack up for just over 4 minutes. Razor shrooms are found throughout Tanagar Canyon, and around the cliffs behind the Tabantha Bridge stable, and mighty thistles are found around this pond on Piper Ridge. For the best tough recipe, cook 5 armored porgy to get a tough fish skewer, which grants a level 3 defense boost for just over 4 minutes. Armored Porgy, and Mighty Porgy if you wish to use them for your Mighty recipe, are commonly found in the well at Hylian Stable, specifically deeper inside, where you'll find a small river below the main path. For the best Sticky recipe, cook 4 Sticky Frogs with a Monster Guts to get a Sticky Elixir, which grants a level 3 slip resistance for over 9 minutes. Sticky Frogs can be found in caves in the Necluda region, or purchased from Beetle at the Lakeside Stable. For the best Sunny recipe, cook 5 Sundelions, which are found all over the Sky Islands, to get a Sunny Fried Wild Greens, which will restore 15 hearts damaged by Gloom. For the best Warding recipe, cook 3 Dark Clumps and 2 Hylian Mushrooms to get a Warding Mushroom Skewer, with high-level Gloom resistance for 8.5 minutes. Dark Clumps can be obtained from the Bargainer statue at Lookout Landing, while Hylian Mushrooms are found all over Hyrule. And for the best Bright recipe, cook 4 Deep Fireflies and a Monster Guts to get a Bright Elixir, with level 3 Glow for just over 11 minutes. Deep Fireflies are found down in the depths. There's plenty of other recipes in the game, and these are just a few examples that you might find particularly useful. If you ever come across any food items or elixirs, press the Check Recipe button in the menu to see how to make it for yourself. If you're looking to strengthen the duration of an elixir, try using stronger, rarer monster parts. Additionally, cooking during a blood moon may add bonus effects onto your dishes, or even increase their effectiveness. You can also farm some ingredients in Hateno Village. After completing the side quest Teach Me a Lesson, you can give Uma different materials to grow in this farmland. Though only this specific set of items, so it can't be anything. She also notes that some ingredients, like hardy radishes, will have less to harvest, but still, it's a reliable method to get more ingredients. This method cannot be sped up, and takes about 2 real-time hours with the game running before the materials are ready to harvest. Next up, let's talk about horses. Finding the best horse might take a lot of practice to find, scouring the world for wild horses to find the ones with the most favorable stats, or simply scanning a Link amiibo to get Epona. Though if you have a save file from Breath of the Wild, the horses will also carry over to Tears of the Kingdom. Having stamina restoring meals definitely helps with taming horses, but making sure your stamina wheel is sufficiently upgraded is also a good idea. If you find your horse fighting your commands while you ride it, make sure to soothe them. When not mounted, drop a carrot for them, which increases their bond with you. Something big to keep in mind though is that you don't actually need to find a horse with good stats, because there's a way to upgrade them. Seek out Melania the Horse God, found in the Akkala region, a bit west of the Akkala Ancient Tech Lab. They enhance the abilities of your horse in exchange for some particular cooked meals. Of course, all of this is also if you really want a horse, as many players opt instead to use different mechanisms built with Ultrahand and Zonai devices, but more on those later. Tears of the Kingdom has quite a bit of fun customization options for you to enjoy as well, and I highly recommend engaging with them. First off, you can customize your outfit colors at the Kochi Dye Shop in Hateno Village, but you can also customize your Paraglider with different patterns. Throughout the game, you'll earn different fabrics for use for the Paraglider. Some are rewards for completing quests, and some are obtained by taking pictures of specific creatures and showing them to Sage here. And some are exclusive to specific Zelda series amiibo, but amiibo exclusive fabrics aren't guaranteed drops, so you'll have to scan the amiibo daily to get the chance to obtain it. While in Hateno Village, you should make sure to complete the whole questline with Cece and the Mayor, to unlock some more customization features from Cece. While wearing the Hylian hood, which you can buy here in Cece's shop or in Lookout Landing, if you talk to Cece, she'll recommend putting the hood down, or back up if you talk to her again. And if you buy a second Hylian hood, you can have one be up and the other one down. It's a neat little customization option that's pretty easily missed. But the biggest customization option is in Tarrytown, over in the Akkala region. If you head here and talk to good old Hudson, you'll start a side adventure. After completing this questline, Link gets the ability to purchase a dream home, and you even build it yourself using Ultrahand. There's a limit of 15 total rooms, but you can buy a bunch of different options, though they're a bit pricey. Next up, let's take a look at shield surfing. If you hold down ZL to put out your shield, then jump with X, and press A to get on your shield, you'll surf down slopes. You could press ZR while shield surfing to pull out your bow and fire off arrows, or press X to jump and glide through the air. This spot in Hebra is the best place to practice, Selmy spot. Not only because Selmy has a whole minigame here to put your practice to the test, but also because shield surfing won't lower your shield's durability in the snow. But on a rocky cliffside, your shield will take quite a bit of damage. So if you ever try to shield surf elsewhere in the world, make sure you have shields to spare. If you fuse different items to your shield surfing will work a bit differently. Fuse a minecart to your shield to essentially skateboard around. Or fuse an explosive item to your shield, such as a bomb flower, to catapult yourself into the air. This works with the Spring Zonai device as well, and will not damage your shield as much as an explosion. Another helpful movement skill comes from Link's recall ability. If you see large debris from Sky Islands, try using recall on them. This is a great way to get high up in the sky. This works on other large objects too. If you move objects with Ultrahand and keep them in place for a time, then bring them back to Link, you can hold or stand on the object and use recall to help you navigate. This works for moving across gaps, or even climbing. Speaking of Link's abilities, if there's ever a ceiling above you, see where you end up with Ascend. You may find a hidden room in a cave, a shortcut to sneak up on enemies in their bases, or even a quick way back up to the surface from the depths. You can always reverse it afterwards if you aren't satisfied with where you end up. We can't talk about Link's abilities without talking about Ultrahand. This allows Link to move different objects in the world and attach them as well. Never forget that sometimes the simplest solution might just be the best one. You can attach a bunch of nearby objects together to make a long bridge, or a nice smooth wall to climb up. One ability you'll definitely want to get is Autobuild. This becomes a main quest from Joshua after completing one temple in the Regional Phenomena main quest line, and after obtaining the camera and compendium from Robbie. Or, just head to the Great Plateau and drop down to the depths from there, as Autobuild is found at the Central Mine, which is directly below the Temple of Time on the plateau. Once you reach the mine, interact with the altar to awaken a construct and receive Autobuild, which lets you quickly recreate anything you've made with Ultrahand, saving the last 30 creations, save creations from QR codes, and much more. Just be warned, there's a boss fight right after obtaining Autobuild, so make sure you're ready for that. And now that you have Autobuild, let's go over the most helpful creation you might like, complete with a QR code to scan in the Zelda Notes app if you're playing on the Switch 2 edition. I'm talking about the incredibly helpful Perfect Hover Bike. This is the hover bike that players have been making since Tears of the Kingdom first came out. It's definitely one of the best movement options in the game. If you have the Zonaite to spare, you can create these various Autobuilds without having the rest of the actual materials. There are tons of Autobuild sharing QR codes floating around the internet right now. If you'd like more, we have a whole page dedicated to it on our website. Next, let's move into combat tips. First, let's go over where to find the best weapons and shields. Many weapons you'll find across Hyrule are rusted and have low durability, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily weak. Hyrule Castle still houses some great Royal Guard weapons that will replenish with each Blood Moon. Just be warned that the area is still dangerous to navigate. While exploring the depths, you might find spirits offering clean weapons, which are more powerful as they haven't been corrupted by Gloom. Many other strong weapons are obtained from defeating powerful enemies, such as Lynel's or Phantom Ganon. Gloom weapons obtained from Phantom Ganon, however, are dangerous as they lower your health. If you fuse these weapons to the end of other weapons though, they can be pretty strong. If you ever obtain unique strong weapons, such as the Fierce Deity Sword, don't worry if it breaks. These can be obtained once again from bargainer statues in the depths, in exchange for high amounts of pose. Of course, the Master Sword is a great weapon, but we'll cover how to unlock that later in this video. There were also the special champion weapons back again from Breath of the Wild. These could be obtained after completing each region's questline in the Regional Phenomena main quest. By speaking to a specific NPC in each region, you'll be able to craft each weapon by trading them specific materials. Teba for the Great Eagle Bow, Fugo for the Boulder Breaker, Dento for the Lightscale Trident, and Isha for the Scimitar of the Seven and Daybreaker Shield. Isha in particular has the prerequisite of completing the side quest, The Missing Owner, in Gerudo Town. And if these weapons ever break, simply bring these NPCs the materials once more, and they'll make the weapon for you again. The best shield in the game is the Hylian shield. You can find this shield at the Hyrule Castle docks. Approach the castle from the west side, sail on the water to reach the cave that brings you to the docks in the castle basement. Be warned that there's a Gloom spawn here. Either defeat it or sneak past it after stunning it with bomb arrows. Up ahead, you'll find a large brazier that needs to be lit, so use a torch or any method of fire to light it, and a treasure chest will appear with the Hylian shield inside. If the Hylian shield ever breaks or gets lost, you could purchase another from CC in Hateno village for 3,000 rupees, as long as you've completed her side adventure at least. It's not just about getting the best weapons and shields though. Fusing different items and materials are also pretty important, and can really change the flow of combat. So let's go over a few recommended weapon and arrow fusions, as well as where to find these materials. Of course, bomb flowers, which are found in caves all across Hyrule, make for explosive bomb arrows when fused to arrows. Keys or Arakuda eyeballs, which are obtained by defeating those enemies, are great arrow fusions, as they make the arrow seek out enemies when fired to guarantee a hit, and may even hit their weak points. Horns from enemies make for great fusions to your strong weapon to boost the damage they'll do, especially if the enemies are particularly stronger variants. The stronger the enemy, the stronger their horn, and in turn, the stronger the weapon fusion will be. Gibdo bones are very strong, but are brittle and break easily, so they're best fused onto arrows for a hit that'll really pack a punch. If you're ever feeling overwhelmed by enemies in an encounter, try using a muddle bud on them. Not only will it confuse the enemies, but it may even make them fight each other. Combat encounters in general get a little easier later in the game, as you complete dungeons and awaken sages, since the sage avatars can assist you in battle. Tulin in particular is especially good at hitting enemy weak points with arrows. They're great support against stronger enemies found in the world, like Gleeoks. But if for some reason you don't want their help, you could turn them off in the key items menu. The biggest combat tip I can give you is to really practice your shield parries and flurry rushes with good timing. These are essential skills for any Tears of the Kingdom player, and mastering them will give you the upper hand in most encounters. For perfect parries with your shield, the timing is pretty tight, but while holding out your shield with ZL, you need to press the A button to swing the shield. If you do this just before an attack strikes you, you'll land a perfect parry. Flurry rushes are a bit more generous to time. While targeting an enemy, if you dodge left or right, or backflip, right when an enemy attacks you, you'll enter a flurry rush to deal all sorts of damage to that enemy instead. Flurry rushes are great against strong foes like Lynel's and Phantom Ganon. Additionally, if you pull out your bow while in the air, you'll enter a similar slow-mo to get the perfect shot with your arrows. But this uses up Link's stamina, so don't take too long to line up the shot. This is great to use when trying to strike enemy weak points, and is especially useful against Gleeoks. The Barbarian armor set is great for battling strong enemies, as it gives a boosted attack power. You can find the pieces of this set from 3 caves found across Hyrule. The Barbarian armor is found in the Krenel Hills cave, which is found here on the map. Look out for this spear in the wall, a marker of hidden treasure nearby. Smash through the wall of luminous stones to uncover a chest containing the armor. The Barbarian leg wraps are found south of Mount Lynel in the Walnut Mountain Cave, which is found here near Hateno village. Follow the upper right path, and avoid the ice like to find the chest frozen in ice. Use some fire to thaw it out, and inside you'll find the legs to this armor set. The Barbarian helm is found in the Rawbread drop-off cave, which is found here on the map. The inside of the cave is tricky to navigate, but if you follow the direction the statues are facing, you'll find where you need to go. Eventually, you'll come up on this section with 3 groups of statues. Stand on this platform with the group of 3 statues on the right, and use Ascend to reach the chest. You can also cook meals that enhance your attack or defense power, which definitely assists in battle as well. However, while cooking buffs don't stack, an armor set buff and a cooking buff will stack, so wearing the Barbarian armor set to buff attack power, and eating a meal to buff defense is a pretty good strategy. There's a secret combat technique you can learn in the game, called the Earthwake technique. It's not a short process to get it, though. First, you'll need to get the Yiga clan armor set. The 3 pieces of this armor set are found at these locations. The mask is found on the Great Plateau, inside the old cabin. The tights are found inside a cave on the southern end of Mount Drenna, by the Aldor foothills. Check this point on the map to find the cave entrance. The armor is found in the Akkala Ancient Tech Lab, in the northeast corner of the map. Once you have the full Yiga armor set, you'll need to infiltrate the Yiga clan hideout in the Gerudo Highlands. Once inside, do this training minigame, which is also how you get the Thunder Helm. But one of the other rewards is this Earthwake technique, which teaches Link how to use the same attack that Yiga Blade Masters use. If you hold the charge button without a weapon equipped, this attack moves forward until you let go of the button. If you're targeting enemies, it follows them. Ultimately, it's not very powerful against stronger enemies, but it's a good move to get some distance between you and your foe, and stun them in the process too. Now that we've talked at length about general combat tips, let's dive into applying them alongside more specific tips for battling against the stronger enemies you'll find as you adventure across Hyrule. When fighting a stone Talus, your best weapons are bombs, or blunt weapons like hammers. Even a rock fused to a sword will count. Use your bombs to blow up the arms of the Talus to weaken it. Once it's weakened, climb on top and use your weapon to really strike the weak point. Or use arrows to strike the weak point if it's too low on the back to hit from up top. You can also ascend up the Talus to reach its weak point more easily. Be careful of other enemies on or around the Talus if it's a battle Talus though, as you'll be dealing with more attacks than just what the Talus itself throws at you. If the Talus is an elemental, you can fuse elemental materials to weapons or arrows to help. Fuse with fire materials to warm up a frost Talus, or fuse with frozen materials to cool down an Igneo Talus. It's best to approach a sleeping Hinox stealthily. You can climb on its hand and get placed on its chest if you're successful. This is a great opportunity to grab the weapons that it wears as a necklace. If this fails, you should be able to grab the items whenever it's stunned and sitting on the ground too. To fight a Hinox, you'll want to aim for the eye using arrows to stun it, in addition to dealing a lot of damage. If a Hinox throws something at you, you can recall the object back at them to deal damage. There aren't many Molduga out in the Gerudo Desert, but they can be pretty strong enemies. The main strategy is to fuse bomb arrows when one is around. Try to stand on any nearby terrain that isn't the sand, as the Molduga can't find you then. Shoot a basic arrow or throw a material you have excess of onto the sand, and when the Molduga launches itself into the air, fire away with bomb arrows. Then just wail on the creature while it's weakened, using any of your powerful weapons. When the Molduga starts swimming around, you'll still be able to weaken it using a bomb arrow. Lynels are definitely pretty scary enemies, and they certainly pack a punch, but if you're ready for what they'll do, you could take them on easily. Make sure you never fight Lynels from a distance, as you don't want them using their bows against you if you can help it. Your best weapons against them are single-handed weapons and a good shield. You'll want to make sure you're targeting the Lynel and holding your shield up to block attacks. If you can time it, parrying their attacks is a great strategy. But perhaps even better is timing a backflip or dodge to the side to get a flurry rush. As long as you're targeting the Lynel, if you dodge as soon as it begins its swing, you should be able to get your flurry rush in. Lynels have plenty of health, so make sure you have several weapons to go through, as you may find your weapon breaking in combat against them. Having some strong fusion materials go a long way too. If you manage to get close enough to a Lynel during battle, you may even be able to mount it, climbing up on its back and getting even more hits in against it. Whenever a Lynel charges up for a big strike, make sure to flee the immediate area, or hide behind some terrain, as the Fire Strike is a huge AoE. When it spits fireballs, you should be able to dodge out of the way, as long as you keep moving to the side. This is actually easier if you're keeping close to it. Otherwise, increasing your attack or defense is one of the best ways to prepare for battle against a Lynel. Those were the enemies back from Breath of the Wild, with largely the same flow to their battles. But now let's get into the new enemies introduced here in Tears of the Kingdom. When fighting Flux constructs, keep an eye out for their Parasource, which is a cube that looks different from the rest. You can attack it with bomb arrows, or you can grab it with Ultrahand to remove it from the rest of the body, which gives you an opening to really attack it. Stronger Flux constructs have a phase when at lower health, where they fly up out of reach, and send blocks down to attack. If you dodge the blocks, then climb up on top of them and use recall, you'll be taken up to the main body to strike at the weak point again. Next up, we have a Frox. These large creatures are only found in the depths, and if you aren't ready for them, can really hurt you, especially with Gloom damage. The only way to really hurt a Frox is to destroy the ore deposits on its back, such as with bombs or blunt weapons. Shoot its eye with an arrow, or throw a bomb into its mouth when it's inhaling in order to stun it, so you can climb on its back and attack the ore deposits. Eventually, it flings you off of its back, but if you ready your glider, you can get an aerial strike ready to stun it yet again. Gleeoks are among the most terrifying enemies to encounter in Tears of the Kingdom, and no matter which elemental version you face, you'll need to stay on your guard to get through the encounter alive. To fight any Gleeok, you'll have to hit the eye of all 3 heads in order to weaken it. This is best done with Key's eyeballs fused to arrows, so make sure to stock up. Once the Gleeok is weakened, make sure to run in and attack the heads with your strongest weapons and fusions. Multi-shot bows can practically stun-lock a Gleeok. Each Gleeok, depending on its elemental type, not only has unique attributes to keep in mind, but a unique final phase of battle as well. Flame Gleeoks raise the temperature of the surrounding area, so you might need to prepare with equipment or recipes to cool Link down. Better yet, have flame-resistant gear or recipes, as Link will catch on fire from these attacks. Ice Key's eyeballs are a great material to fuse to arrows when fighting Flame Gleeoks, or any other material with ice properties. The final phase of a Flame Gleeok is to launch a massive fireball down on you. Make sure to flee the area when this comes down, and then either use the updraft from the flames, or a rocket fused to your shield, to rise up into the sky and challenge the Flame Gleeok midair with arrows. Frost Gleeoks lower the temperature of the surrounding area, so you'll need to prepare for cold resistance with either a recipe or an armor set. Flame Key's eyeballs are a great material to fuse to arrows when fighting Frost Gleeoks, or any other material with fire properties. The final phase of a Frost Gleeok is to create a giant ice storm in the sky, which rains down large icicles. Climb up on an icicle and stand on top of it, and use recall to rise up into the storm. Then glide across to the Gleeok, or platform across the icicles, to get your chance to shoot its eyes and send it crashing back down to the ground. Thunder Gleeoks strike you with lightning, so you'll definitely need shock resistance armor sets or recipes ready. Additionally, using non-metal weapons really help as well. The final phase of a Thunder Gleeok sees it fly up into the air and rain down laser beams of lightning strikes. These leave behind updrafts, so use them to fly up and fight the Gleeok head-on to send it crashing down. King Gleeoks are the mightiest of them all. You will need a lot of arrows and very strong bows and weapons to take on these foes. You'll also need lots of stamina restoring items just to reach most of the ones up on the Sky Islands. The final phase of the King Gleeok is a mixture of the other 3. Your best bet is to either glide up to it with the updrafts created by the lightning strikes, or use recall on the large icicles. Just be careful on the icicles, as lightning strikes on your way up. Finally, we have the Gloom spawn. Fight these hands from afar so they can't grab you. Fusing bomb flowers to arrows to fire off bomb arrows is a great strategy, as you can hurt multiple hands at once this way, especially if you manage to take the high ground, as they'll group up to reach at you, making AoEs easier to hit. Defeating the Gloom hands isn't the end, however, as that spawns the true mini-boss, Phantom Ganon. Like Lynel's, your best bet is to carefully time perfect dodges when Phantom Ganon swings at you, so you can get a Flurry Rush and deal lots of damage to him. One other quick tip regarding bosses and enemies is that after you clear a dungeon, you'll find that dungeon's boss as an enemy in special areas of the depths. They're usually guarding special treasure chests and drop special fusion parts, so learning to fight them again will be handy anyway. But it's best to make sure the surrounding area is sufficiently lit up first, as fighting them in the dark can be difficult. Moving on, let's talk about some puzzles you'll encounter in the story. First up, we have the Lost Woods. Unlike Breath of the Wild, any direction you approach the Lost Woods from the surface won't have a way through, and you'll be sent back to its entrance. So, you'll have to approach from the depths below. You'll find a platform near this light route, and you can use Ascend to climb up to the surface, which is in the heart of Korok Forest. Make sure to activate the shrine so you can easily warp back here too. But just because you reach the Korok Forest doesn't mean the puzzle is solved, as things are still wrong here. So head inside the Great Deku Tree and drop into the new chasm inside. Here, you'll find a mini-boss to defeat, Phantom Ganon. If you follow our tips from earlier, you should be able to defeat him and save Korok Forest. Notably, you won't find the Master Sword here in the forest. So how do you get the Master Sword? Well, if you rescue the Deku Tree from Phantom Ganon, he'll mark the sword's location on your map, which moves around, because it's a location of the Light Dragon. If you view all of the Dragon Tier memories, a new one will appear, and viewing that one spawns the Light Dragon nearby. From here, you can use the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower to help you reach the Light Dragon. While either of these methods make it easier, ultimately, once you have 2 full stamina wheels, you can successfully pull the Master Sword as long as you reach the Light Dragon. Extra stamina won't count, so this totals to obtaining 5 stamina vessels. Next up, let's talk about tips for finding collectibles and reaching 100% in the game. First up, upgrades. To upgrade your energy cells, use crystallized charges to convert into energy wells from a crystal refinery. There's one next to the Nachoya Shrine on the Great Sky Island, and also one just north of Lookout Landing. 100 crystallized charges makes 1 extra battery bar. You'll need a grand total of 2,100 to fully upgrade your battery to the max. You can obtain crystallized charges at the forge on the Great Sky Island, as well as the one at the Great Abandoned Central Mine. Every forge you find in the depths has a location to get more. So whenever you're in the depths, make sure to stock up on lots of Zonaite, as this is what you need to trade to get crystallized charges. To upgrade your equipment, you'll need the help of the Great Fairies. The Great Fairies upgrade your equipment up to 4 stages with the right materials, and enough rupees. But it's not a simple rupee requirement to awaken them like in Breath of the Wild. This time around, they have a whole series of side quests to awaken each one. You'll find the first Great Fairy just north of the Woodland Stable. You'll have to first go to the Lucky Clover Gazette just outside of Rito Village, and become a reporter for them. Then, at Woodland Stable, you'll have a side quest begin with your reporter partner, Pen. You'll have to transport these musicians to the nearby Great Fairy. After clearing this quest, a similar quest will appear for the other 3 Great Fairies. The next Great Fairy is in the Hebra region, northeast of the Tabantha Tundra. The missing musician is down here, south of the Tabantha frontier, fallen in a hole. Help him out, and he'll rejoin the troupe. Then, you'll have to bring the musicians to the Great Fairy. The third Great Fairy is by the Dueling Peak Stable. You'll find the missing musician near Kakariko Village. Then, you'll have to build a boat to get the musicians to the Great Fairy. The final Great Fairy is by the Outskirt Stable. The missing musician is all the way down at Highland Stable, and wants 10 Sunset Fireflies before he'll rejoin the group. Once you finally get the musicians together, you'll have to build another contraption to get them to the Great Fairy for their performance. But once you visit all 4 Great Fairies and open them up, they can upgrade Link's equipment to the max level for the highest defense. Each upgrade takes specific materials, so if you're looking to upgrade a specific piece of armor, you'll need to search for materials, which can be set with your tracker if they're in the compendium. To upgrade your inventory, you'll need the help of the Koroks and Hestu. As you collect Korok seeds by finding Koroks, you can exchange them with Hestu to upgrade your inventory slots for weapons, shields, and bows. If you haven't completed a temple yet, Hestu's first location will be near Lindor's Brow in Hyrule Ridge, at this location on the map. Save him from the nearby enemies, and he'll upgrade some of your inventory slots. His second location, or first location if you've already cleared at least one temple, is at Lookout Landing, the central hub of the game. After you've saved Korok Forest, he'll move there permanently for the rest of the game. If you need help looking for Korok seeds around Hyrule, you should seek out the Korok mask, which shakes and makes sounds when Link is near a hidden Korok. This mask is found in the depths as a reward for clearing the Forest Coliseum. This challenge is found in the northwest corner of the depths, underneath Great Hyrule Forest. It won't be an easy fight though, so make sure you're prepared. If you're wondering how to get Link's iconic tunic, there are multiple ways. Like Breath of the Wild, you can get Link's tunic from other games, like Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess, as random drops from scanning the corresponding amiibo. But unlike that game, you can also find them around the world, mostly hidden down in the depths. Some even get marked on special treasure maps you'll find on Sky Islands. Just be warned, as some of these are protected by pretty strong enemies. It takes courage to look the part of the hero. Link's tunic designed for Breath of the Wild, and by extension Tears of the Kingdom, is back as well. But unlike the last game, it's not tied to completing shrines this time, and is instead simply found in specific locations down in the depths. The Cap of the Wild is found at these coordinates displayed on screen, inside the head of the Hebra Dark Skeleton. The Tunic of the Wild is found at these coordinates, inside the head of the Gerudo Dark Skeleton. And the Trousers of the Wild are found at these coordinates, inside the head of the Elden Dark Skeleton. Okay, there's just one last thing to go over with the Switch 2 edition of Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda Notes. This is the new section of the Nintendo Switch mobile app dedicated to new features in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. One of the biggest additions found here is the Navigator, which helps you track down what you're missing by displaying it on the map and even offering voice guidance to help you find your way, GPS style.
You have reached your destination.
This is very handy for finding shrines and Koroks, whether you're revisiting the game or starting fresh from a new file. The map updates in real time with your game, so you can see exactly where you are relative to the point you're searching for. There's even exclusive new content in this app, being the voice memories. There are tons to find around the world, including from multiple characters, and they're easy to locate with the app's navigation system. These give little extra lore drops, and are a great incentive to come back to such a beloved title.
Hudson Construction. It seems Hudson is rarely in the shop, as he is busy recruiting workers for the restoration efforts.
Between the surface of Hyrule, the skies above, and the expansive depths below, there is a lot to do in Tears of the Kingdom. Dangerous foes to battle, lots of treasure to find, Koroks to rescue, and a compendium to fill. If you need help with 100% completion, or want any further tips with any of these points, make sure to check out our in-depth wiki pages. But above all, remember, this isn't a speedrun. Savor the experience and enjoy everything the Switch 2 edition of Tears of the Kingdom has to offer. Which tip would you have loved to know in your first playthrough? Let us know in the comments below. For more on The Legend of Zelda, check out all of our guides and features, and of course, stay tuned to IGN.com.